Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And it is time once again for some speculation. But we have educated speculation because, as you can see from the thumbnail, we got the free-to-play gear teaser for next month. Now, it is very telling. That's why I blacked it out on the thumbnail. It is very, very obvious based on what the translation says to what is coming. So let's just go ahead and bring it up right now. Here is the full image. We have a green staff, mace, morning star, whatever you want to call it. Green, okay? And a little hint ahead, and the rough Google translation says a staff with a distinctive color. Devils or demons related to color play an active role. Demons related to color play an active role. God, I wonder what that means. I wonder if Slime has a bunch of characters who are color coded for some reason, based on many, many factors, right? God forbid there's a character who also happens to be a demon who has a color. Ah, right. All of these. The Primal Demon team. So, I think we can safely assume that we are getting a Primal Demon team because there's no other team that would really match this, right? If we go through the forces, no, 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 maybe. But we already got a meta for that. I mean, technically, maybe? No. No. And this is all no. And none of this. So, Primal Demon is the only category that this would make any reasonable ounce of sense. And because it's green, we only have 7 colors, right? Who is the green Primal Demon? Misery, who already has a free-to-play unit. Now, she is quite old. She is not what I consider super ooper duper good, but she can be helpful in a pinch. She's got green gauge buff and green damage and heals. But we're talking about a new Misery, a 2024 Misery, not a 2022 Misery. Or, right? Yeah, 2022. I think, yeah, you came out with the space meta. Yeah. So, new free-to-play Misery probably incoming. We don't have the jacket here, we just have the weapon, which, is fine. We kind of stop getting the jackets sometimes. I mean, I'm okay with Primal Demons, right? If we take a look at this category, it is a very good category, right? Guy is almost an exact year old, still one of the top, I'd say, 5 units in the game. Blanc is also up there, and she's relatively new, along with Violet. They came out for the second anniversary back in November. Blanc is really, really good for a blue stacking team, and so is Violet, and so is Guy. So we're just coming off of the burst blue meta, right, with the Tempest Elite. Chances are we probably don't get a blue meta. It might be a green meta, because, Overlord was green, and now Overlord you can't get anymore, so they kind of have to replace that with a different meta. And they generally don't put back-to-back metas where, teams really work well together. Like, they normally do some kind of alternating between orb color. New Year's was orange, February was green, March is blue, so we should go back to either an orange or a green meta coming up. Who knows? This is Bandai Namco, though. They could do 6 straight months of blue for all I know. But we have an alt buffer crit and green to, well, 2 greens and an orange to blue. Violet is a magic buff and 2 oranges to blue. Blanc is converting 3 blue alts or 3 alts to blue orbs. So we have a pretty good team. Jean is here with her massive buffing, and she is going to be actually very, very good because not only does she raise alt damage by 100%, she also raises Primal Demon EX alts by another 70%. And if we're going to get an entire meta around Primal Demons, this is going to come in very, very useful. Now, it does warrant a very high cost, right? 80 plus 55 equals not cheap. So we have to take that with a grain of salt. I mean, it is kind of unfortunate that we're gonna get another free-to-play Misery because we yet to get a summonable version of Misery, and Rain has two summonable versions. So I kind of wish they had flipped this and made Rain the free-to-play and Misery a summonable or some way or somehow. But hey, it is what it is. They don't have a lot of screen time anyways, but to be fair, neither do these two, and they're gonna keep pumping them out. We also know, pretty much guaranteed, that this first banner will have a new Diablo. Because they have stated that we will get a new Diablo by the end of March 2024. We are 6 days away from the end of March 2024, and the meta should start on Wednesday, the 28th. So, I think it is 99.9999999% that we are getting a Diablo. Now, they didn't specify whether it's going to be Battle or Protector, because as we know, we got Protector Shion, and then we got Battle Unit Benimaru. So they could go either way. Diablo already has a Protector, so it would only make sense for him to get a Battle Unit, but again, Bandai. Grains of salt all over the place. So we're going to get a Diablo. And probably like a green focused Diablo. Maybe not a burst team. If we take a look at the schedule and calendars and stuff. So we've got this blank spot that starts on the 28th. Tempest Elite was a burst blue. Overlord was a stacking green. New Year's Blessing was a burst orange. Pretty Sparkle was a stacking green. Visions of Coleus was a stacking blue. Wielder of Magic was a burst orange. Otherworld Legend was our last defense meta. So, and that was back in August and September. I'm willing to bet maybe we get another defense meta. It's been a hot minute since we've gotten them, and the one before that was another burst blue, and then a stacking blue. So I mean, there are situations where they do repeat orb colors, like back to back, but it's not very often. Green, orange, blue, green, orange, green, blue. So, I mean, I'd say another defense green, but they know how good Vengeance is. So they're going to have to do something about this to make Vengeance not as good. Especially since they gave us pretty much free reign of Vengeance and Tempest Elite because they didn't nerf greens. So, there's a few things that can be made of this. Is that Diablo, Primal Demons, free-to-play Misery, and we're going to get a Diablo. Which, if we're getting Diablo, guaranteed, and I'm going to assume a battle unit, okay, that's one slot. We're getting a free-to-play Misery, okay, that's taken care of. We only have 7 options, right? So who will be the other picks? Are we going to get a new version of Guy as a Protector? I mean, maybe. We have Protector Guy already. We've got Space Guy, who, I mean, while very old, is still reasonable. But what other Primal Demons do we have for Protectors? Diablo, and EX Protectors. Diablo. They could make Jean a Protector, they could make Violet a Protector, they could make Blanc, they can make a new guy, they can make Rain the Protector. We can mix and match all day, essentially. But I think if they want to make money, which a gacha game is a business and they want to make money, and what do people summon for? Hot waifus. Okay? So, they could give us free-to-play Misery. They could give us Battle Unit Diablo. And they could give us some hot version of Jean or Blanc as a summonable Protector. And then for the next, the second banner, they could give us a new version of Jean. And then, or whoever, they didn't give the Protector to. And then the third banner they can literally give to anyone. They could give it to Violet. They could give it to Rain. Right? Most of the game's demographic is geared towards males, and that's why they release 10 million Shunas and about one Benimaru every 2 years. So there is a schedule, there is a thought process behind the units they put out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 female Primal Demons, and there's out of 7, and there's what, right? Yeah, and there's how many slots? There's 2 protectors, 1 free to play battle, and 3 summonable. So there's 6. So someone is getting left off. Who is getting left off? If I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, probably Guy. Guy has quite a few units, and he is still, this EX guy right here is still very, very good. Alt damage, guaranteed crit for physical. I don't know if they would release another physical meta, because we're coming off a physical one right here. So, yeah. Let's find out. But then he's got his triple orb change. He's still a fantastic unit. I don't think he needs a new option. I don't think he needs a replacement for this. It could happen. But I think we're going to get Diablo, Rain, Misery, and the ladies. I think that's what we're going to end up with. So we will find out. The live stream will happen in 2 days on Wednesday the 27th at 4 goddamn in the morning my time. We should see the announcement probably tomorrow morning during the midday for the actual live stream with like the link and everything. It'll be very telling if they have any guests that are, which Primal Demon will be the guest. If anything, it'd probably be Diablo, because we know that we're getting a Diablo, so it makes sense. And then 28th at 7 p.m. Pacific time is when the banners will release. So Primal Demon team incoming. While it doesn't have that many options compared to, Tempest Elite, we do have a lot of EX characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Plus the eternally useful now, Octagram Guy. Most of the Diablos are pretty meh at this point. So, it is good that we're getting a new Diablo to refresh the character, because, you're literally the first summonable unit in a meta. You were not good on release, you were a joke, and you were fine for your meta. I just didn't like the meta. And then you're a free-to-play character who it only works on one team. So he needs a refresh. Misery, honestly, needs a summonable unit. We ain't getting it. Rain, Space Rain, okay. Magic Rain, I'm not a big fan of her kit. And she's also pretty old and power crept out. So if I were to wish for anything, if I were to think up my dream team, it would probably be a blue stacking magic meta. Quite honestly, it would just be like a rerun of Visions of Coleus. That way we could use Blanc, we could use Violet, we could use Jean. Guy could still have some viability. He just wouldn't give people crits, which, fine. He's got that massive orb change, but then we've got Jean already giving the alt buff, so Guy is unnecessary. So I think that would be my most wanted favorable outcome, and that's generally not what happens, so sorry in advance. But if we can somehow get Jean buffing Primal Demons by 170% on one unit, that would be pretty awesome, in my opinion. And if we can get either a really, really good AoE Diablo or a single target, just big daddy damage Diablo, which we haven't seen since ever. Ever. I'm not counting you, I'm not counting you. Then I think that would be pretty good for the game. And it would bring a lot of hype, and it would also be a lot of bait, right? Because if they're going to drop Jean and Blanc before the second anniversary, or we take a look, and they do this, where for this time slot right here, they drop Diablo and Rain, or Diablo and Violet, or something like that, or Guy. They drop them as the first part of the banner. And then we go 2 weeks, and we get labeled the 2.5 anniversary part 1, and they put Jean and Blanc on a single banner. And I think that would be the best case of actual half-anti bait that I have ever seen, right? Because Shizu and Hero are like, yeah, they're cool, they've got followings. Shizu and Hinata the same way, they've got followings, but I don't think you can compare Shizu and Hinata or Shizu and the Hero to the raw waifu big mommy powers of Jean and Blanc, especially with the fan base. All right, if they make these two characters of whatever new typing, whatever new force, as a double featured unit on around the 17th of April, I would have a very, very difficult time telling people to skip and waiting another 10 days and wait for part 2, whatever this may be, probably third season related, it's going to be a real rough time for people who want to summon this time slot right here. So late March to mid-May, I think is going to be a rough time for a lot of people if they drop a lot of hype all at once. Coming off of, this pretty crappy meta, the sad Overlord meta, the New Year's Blessing meta, which is very, very good for Valor Cup and a lot of things, but I'm not sure too many people summon on it. And then, idols. So we've had a lot of metas where it's kind of like, this team is very good. It's godly. You cannot die. You legitimately cannot die. This team does a shit ton of damage because of Xion. This team can do a shit ton of damage if you have all the pieces. And this team, I think, is just a sad excuse. Personal opinion. So I think we can pencil in Primal with a capital P. Primal Demon right here for March 28th. But let me know your thoughts. Are you excited for a Primal Demon team? I expect a lot of you are. What 6 characters and what typings and what, placements would you like the 6 of them to be? Who are you leaving out? Let me know. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.